man here. How's it going? All right. Finally, somebody has disproved atheism. Cool. Only took him 6 minutes and 12 seconds to do it. Now, I don't know what it would mean to disprove atheism. I guess if atheism is the position that there is no God, then disproving it would be to show that there is a God. Now, in the stance that atheism is, I don't believe in God, I'm not sure how you could show that that's incorrect. But if you could prove that there's a God, then I would not continue to not believe in God, and that would make me not be an atheist. So cool. I wonder what he's got to offer us. Let's check it out, and then I'll start talking whenever I feel like it about whatever he says.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. I have just actually been out on business with my business partner out here. We went to a German town just over the border. Those who know, I obviously live in Holland. I've got a business in UK and a station here as well in Holland that we started about 3 years ago, but we're looking for a German member of staff. So it's tough to get a German speaker when you're in Holland, even though we're only 20 minutes away from the border. So we keep traveling over, we're like speaking to people in town, and we'll find a German speaker soon. But anyway, I had a comment from someone, an unnamed person says that my argument in the previous video did a terrible job of disproving atheism or arguing against anti-theists or agnostics. And I think they lost the point of the video. Like, I wasn't trying to prove my position and prove that God existed. I was trying to shine a light on the way that like smarmy atheists can say and act as if they know because of their like so-say science.
All right. Well, I guess I'd have to go check out your other video. Oh man. But I love this. Yeah, the video that I made that's not really, trying to prove anything. I'm just pointing out this thing that bothers me. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Let's see. So what video is that? Is that how do I know my God's the real God? Question from atheists. And then in the thumbnail it says how I shut down atheists. So in that video, he's not trying to actually prove God. He's just saying like atheists are like smug and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I guess some atheists can seem that way. I don't know that I'm smug. I'm kind of jaded. I'm kind of over the whole God thing now. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't exist. Moving on. Whatever. I'd love to know that I'm wrong. I'd love for proof to come along and prove me wrong. That'd be great. It would change things. A lot of things. I'd be interested in that. But I've kind of come to expect nothing but bad arguments at this point. And I'm like, all right, here's another bad argument, more than likely. So I don't know that I need to listen to your other video then to really grasp what you're saying here. If that other video isn't trying to prove to us that God exists, then it doesn't matter. And if you're just saying, well, atheists can be smug and certain about things or whatever, yeah, well, the same could be true of you. So what? Everybody can be smug sometimes. Who cares? I don't pretend to know things, but religion sometimes does. Religion says, oh no, there is a God, and this is how things work. So you being Muslim, I infer from the language you employed there, is one Abrahamic religion that evolved from Christianity, and different ideas were developed about it, and now you have the modern Muslims and kind of the Muslims that are wanting Sharia law, and the Muslims that don't want Sharia law. I like those Muslims. The Muslims that want Sharia law scare the bleep out of me, And I don't want them to want that, because Sharia law is bad for everybody, including them. And I wish they'd see that. But the religion is a mix of politics and religion, and that's a dangerous coupling. It's one thing if you are part of a religion to live by its rules. It's a whole nother thing to make that religion into a government that rules over other people and says everybody has to follow these rules, because that can turn out rather badly for people that you know don't don't believe in the things that the government's saying you have to believe in this God. Now that negates freedom past the point that I think is reasonable. But at any rate, yeah, people can be smug. That's what the video was about. Okay, cool, whatever. All right.
And their science is just as subjective as any unprovable anything, because
Science is not subjective. So you're wrong about that. But that's an issue for science, not atheists. So okay.
if you're coming back to singularity where there's no proof of how something would start from nothing, then I'm saying that if you're going to say that any argument is ludicrous, that's just as ludicrous as any argument. So, but then I was thinking,
Um, I don't know who makes the argument that anything came from nothing. I know that theists will sometimes say that God made the universe from nothing. I've never heard an atheist ever actually say that nothing made the universe. I mean, other than to say that that's maybe a possibility. I don't know that anyone's actually made that argument. I don't know what made or how the universe came to be. No idea. Have no clue on that whatsoever. And also, that has nothing to do with my not believing in God. If I had the answer, cool. If I don't have the answer, so I don't know. And whatever the answer turns out to be, I will agree with, but that answer needs to be something demonstrably demonstrated to be a thing. We can't just assume it or infer it. I don't even know that we could actually argue for it. What we would probably need is, yeah, science that actually shows, yes, this is how it works, why it works that way. Maybe it would be a mathematical formula or several. It'd be some model, that shows this is this and here's how this works. And, there'd be something to it more than just a guess or a philosophy or mussing of, well, maybe it could be this, maybe it could be that. To say that all arguments are ludicrous, well, then that argument would also be ludicrous. I don't know that anyone's ever actually said that. But if an argument is or isn't ludicrous, well, I don't know. That's subjective. What matters is the argument sound or not? So if there's one or more fallacies, then the argument isn't sound, and you should be skeptical of the conclusion. So then I expect you to give me a sound argument regarding God in order to disprove atheism. And if you don't do that, then you haven't disproven atheism.
like my whole thing is, I don't believe we're on this planet for no reason. I believe we're on this planet to serve God, and to serve God means that we will look after all those around us by design, because we have a very clear message, a very
Okay, well, what you believe is not relevant to anything else. What you believe is not relevant to me, or in sense of whether or not it's an actually you believe it, but that doesn't mean it's that's how things are. Okay, so I agree that serving each other is a good idea. I like that idea. I don't see any reason to add God to that. um we're on this planet to help each other out, sure, yeah, or to serve each other. Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that, sure. um you add God to that equation, I don't. I don't see any need to serve God. God's complete. If there is a God, and it's perfect, it doesn't need my service, because what could I possibly do for God? Nothing. There isn't anything I could do. It doesn't need my worship or affection or my love or anything, because it has everything. Unless it's not perfect, when okay, then it's a different version of God, I guess, that isn't perfect. I don't know what that God's like, but I think that the Muslim version of God, Allah, is meant to be a perfect God. I'm not sure, because I'm not super familiar with the theology of Muslims. Uh, and so a perfect being wouldn't need me to serve it. So you can believe that you're supposed to, for whatever reason, but I don't have that belief. But I will agree with you that humans can serve each other and help each other. Uh, Adding God to that doesn't seem like a necessary step for me. Maybe it does for you. What the truth of the matter is, whether there is or isn't a God, that's still up for questioning. You might believe there's a God just as much as I don't believe there's a God. But our beliefs are irrelevant to each other. What we need to do is establish that the thing is or isn't true. And if we can't do that, then we must be skeptical of the conclusion, which means that maybe it's true, maybe it's false. I hold that in a superposition of I don't know, until I'm given more data to consider, or an actual sound argument to look at. And so far, you haven't given me anything to go on, or any reason to think that there is a God. Your beliefs are not relevant in establishing what is true.
Very clear-cut path on how to be a human. Since, like I said in the last video, it's subjectively very easy to fall off the beaten path, because I think that in life we just have this. You have two paths. You have the right one and the wrong one. And we don't know what the right and the wrong is sometimes. We think we know because, oh, no, we don't need religion. Oh, no. Actually, think about it like this, because I can relate to this guy who's commenting on this video, taking time out of his day to take and write something negative to someone who's purpose-filled, happy, looking after everyone around them, and more patient. But in his head, he doesn't see it that way. In his head, he's lost, confused. That's why he's on videos like this looking. I'd assume. I'm not trying to judge, by the way, so don't.
Yeah, no, you totally are. But okay, so there's a lot there. Religion does tell people a lot of things, including what to do or not to do. But you're still ultimately going to interpret that in a certain way. And you're going to say, this is what this means to me as an individual. Now, the group that you're part of might not agree with you. They might say, no, 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 no. The way to look at that is this way. And you're like, well, I don't like that, so I'm not going to be part of this group. I'm going to find a group that agrees with me. And that's why there are divisions in different theologies, different denominations. Now, Muslim, if I'm if I think I'm correct on this, they have at least three, if not more, denominations, ways of viewing the scriptures. There's different books that they add to the required reading list beyond the Quran, or that they say don't read this book or don't listen to this guy or that guy. This person is important. This person isn't. This person explained what the prophet meant. This person didn't do it. So, read this guy, don't read that guy, listen to this person, whatever. So those are different denominations that have come about, and there's those that want Sharia law and those that don't. That's definitely a division right there. And Sharia law is not good, in my view, because it says if you're not Muslim, either you're going to get killed or you're going to be taxed. I don't find either of those to be very good ideas, because, well, I'm not a Muslim and I'm not going to be a Muslim, because the threat isn't a logical argument, nor is the taxation fair, because you're taxing me due to my internal beliefs. You're basically saying to me, if you're willing to lie and say you're a Muslim, you don't have to pay that tax. My duty's to the truth. I don't want to lie about it. So I have to pay a tax? How is that reasonable? Would you be okay with paying a tax for being a Muslim if, somebody else was in charge? I don't think you would. I don't think you would find that to be fair. So just for that reason alone, I'm against Sharia law. There's other reasons I'm against Sharia law, but that's a pretty big reason. The whole getting killed part uh, is a pretty big problem. And also under that law, if you are a Muslim and you decide that you don't want to be, you get killed. I don't think that's very fair. I don't think that that's a good idea. But the people that follow it or want to follow it do think it's a good idea. And they think it's a good idea because they interpret the Quran plus some other writings to mean that that's how they must behave. And hopefully you're not in favor of Sharia law. I don't know. Maybe you are. If you are, well, stay far away from me, please. Because I don't, again, I don't like that idea. I don't like that law, and I don't want to be around somebody that wants me dead. Because that kind of makes me a little bit nervous. And maybe you're more refined about it. You're like, well, Sharia law, but it's a modified version. We're just going to tax you. Well, I still don't want to be taxed. I'm glad you don't want to kill me, but I really don't want to be taxed either. And I don't care what your beliefs say, unless this isn't a fair thing to do. What does God need with my money? It's one thing to just be taxed in general, but it's a whole other thing to be additionally taxed because of your beliefs or lack thereof. I don't find that to be fair. Anyways, so the point I'm making is, even if your religion is true, you still have your subjective views that you're going to filter those words in that book through. Your interpretation of the book is never going to be objective, because whatever it really ultimately is supposed to be is filtered through your very human mind. Now, people will say, no. God revealed to me the real way to really understand these words. Yeah, well, guess what? The other guy over there that says says the same thing. So anyone can make that claim, can't they? Everyone can claim that they have the right and real version of the religion. So how do we resolve that? The only way would be to demonstrate that you are correct. The only way to demonstrate that you are correct is with a sound argument, or empirical evidence, or a repeatable test. So offer one of those.
Take this as hateful. I'm just trying to understand this through my head, because I was thinking this way, right? Is, if our job is all day long to just make sure we make the right decision at the times that these tests are presented to us. He's on a video which for some reasons offended him, which I understand, because I was that way before, and people believing in something that I didn't believe in was offensive. But think about what's going on here. Someone who's happy and only doing good, you're trying to shoot like that belief system to try and bring them to your belief system where the same is not happening. I know that because I came from that.
Okay, so you might not have been happy in whatever system you were part of. And that's part of why you left that system. In this case, this system of non-belief, which I'm just going to assume that you were part of, fine. You were not happy. That doesn't mean they're not happy. They might be very happy. You don't know that. You have no idea of their happiness or lack thereof. That's part one. Part two is being happy in a system does not make that system true. Period. Also, being miserable in a system does not make that system false. Period. Okay? Your emotions in response to whatever system you find yourself in don't make that system true or false. Now, I spent a deal of time complaining about how I don't like Sharia law, and my dislike of it doesn't make it true or false. I'm expressing my personal viewpoint on my disdain for that system, but it could be true. I don't see any reason to think that it's true because I don't have a valid argument, a sound argument. I don't have a test to run. I don't have a repeatable test. I don't have empirical evidence to examine. I have no compelling reason to agree with you as yet. So whether or not the person is or isn't happy doesn't matter. Whether or not you are or aren't happy doesn't matter. That doesn't tell us whose system is right or wrong. And as far as them trying to shoot down or take down somebody that's perfectly happy in their system, well, hey, we do that all the time. We do it all the time. I'm very happy as a skeptic. I'm very happy, broadly speaking. Yeah. You trying to convince me that there is a God, well, what if that makes me not happy? Now, it's not going to. I don't care. It'll be cool. I'll be like, all right, cool, all right. But let's say it did. Now what? Now can you no longer try to convince me out of my view? How do you know that going into your system is going to make me happy just because it made you happy? Different people have different things that make them happy. So this is an illogical idea that you have in regards to what people should or shouldn't do. You shouldn't try to get me out of my system where I'm very happy with it and go into your system where I know you're unhappy. Well, I was unhappy. Maybe you're happy. But no, I don't want anything to do with your system. Okay, well, I don't want anything to do with your system. But it could still be true. I'm here just to find out if it's true or not. My happiness or lack thereof, I find completely irrelevant to the truth. The truth is what the truth is, period. It may or may not make me happy. It's still true. So show me that this is a true idea via a sound argument, empirical evidence, and or a repeatable test. And if you will not do that, then all you're mussing about, well, they shouldn't shoot down somebody that's happy. Why not? Well, because it will make them unhappy. Oh, okay. So your decision on things is based on people's happiness. Don't you value the truth? Should you not leave them alone if they appear to be happy then? If he appears to be happy, not believing, then you have to leave him alone. Oh, but you know that he's unhappy, right? Because you could just read minds and emotions? Is that what you're saying? I'm just asking the question.
But that's natural. Like I used to do that, you know, like regardless of what you believe, okay, why would you want to stop or stop someone believing something that made them feel fulfilled in a time when like the world is crazy, like stuff is coming at us from left, right, and center, and people don't even know how to be?
Because the truth matters more than your happiness to me, and more than my happiness. The truth matters more than people's feelings. Whatever is true matters the most. It is the most important thing ever. And it might not make you very happy. So if you're going to put out something out there and you're going to say, this is an idea that I want you to agree with, you're going to knock people out of their comfort zone. You're going to necessarily make somebody feel unhappy, because by and large, people tend to be pretty happy with what they think is true. That's not always the case. Of course, there's people that are completely miserable in their lives. It just depends upon the person and depends upon their beliefs. But we cannot, or I should say, we shouldn't try to say, well, my system's going to be based completely on whether or not I'll make somebody happy. Then you shouldn't make any videos ever, because if it might make me unhappy. You don't know. Something you might say or do might make me unhappy. Oh, what was me? You have a black lamp in your background? Oh, I'm very unhappy about that. Actually, I think you're in a hotel room. Oh, I'm very unhappy about that. Maybe you're not. If this is just a room in your house, its cleanliness makes me really unhappy. Oh, that's silly, but so what? You know? You're going to base things on whether or not it's, like, don't mess with me. It will make me unhappy. What if you're wrong? Don't you want to know? Oh, no, I just want to be happy. Okay, whatever.
But this person doesn't know how to be, clearly, because he's on videos looking for the truth. But then he's like, well, you shouldn't have to be able to be either. And he's like trying to stick a stick in from the breaks.
I don't know who this person is that you're responding to. I don't know what their desires are, and I don't think you do either.
Like stick a stick in your brakes, like the person's on a bike or whatever, like poking from the outside, chucking stones from a glass house. Now, I thought about that, and I thought, that's mad, because if you think about it, this guy's confused, lost, needs help, needs guidance, right?
Ex-atheist makes me unhappy. Yeah. No, it's more like, oh, what's that thing? Hold on. There it is. I got it. Here we go. Yes. This is what I was thinking of right here. Hold on. So this is you, right now, right? You're the one that stuck the stick in your own thing, not me, right? Like, I'm happy. Truth? No. Why? So there you go. There's the actual situation, right? I didn't do it. You did it to yourself, Anyways, it just made me think of that. I thought that was amusing. Hey, I'm happy. Must be true then.
But instead of like looking for guidance, his closed heart, because he's operating under evil, he doesn't even know he is.
Oh, he's operating under evil. Well, that just solves everything then, doesn't it? What a way to just dismiss anybody you disagree with. You're operating under evil. Okay, well, how about this? James, you're operating under evil. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. I've decided that. Yeah, you're operating under evil. You don't even know that you're operating under evil. Yeah, Yeah, you don't know that yet, implying that you'll figure it out or find out one day. Not today, but eventually. Yeah, yeah, because I disagree with you. So you're under evil and I'm not. Okay, yeah, sure. Great way of making a case for yourself here. How about this? Nobody's operating under evil, or well, if they're operating under evil, whatever that means, let's set that to the side for now. How about maybe they just want to discover what's true and they're poking at stuff to make sure that that stuff is true. It's not that they're trying to take away your happiness. No, not that. And believing in Bigfoot makes me happy. Why do you kind of asking all the questions? Get over yourself. Come on. Okay? Because your ideas are going to be scrutinized by other people. Welcome to the internet, where religion comes to die. Because people are going to attack your ideas. And your ideas might die, but good. If they were bad ideas, then they deserve to die. They won't die if they're good ideas. They will survive and thrive. The sad part is you think that you have the true idea, and so then you demonize the other people that don't. Those are evil people. So you can never, ever be wrong. And that makes you really happy. Yeah, I wonder why he's trying to poke holes in that idea of yours. It's extraordinarily illogical. It's called poisoning the well, is the fallacy that you're committing when you're saying that I or him or whoever, because I must also be operating under evil, because I'm trying to knock you down off of your happiness. Oh, your happiness. Come on.
He's just sticking sticks in things. Like, that's what's mad about it, is you don't even have a solution. You're just trying to debunk other people. Now, if you think about that,
you don't even have a solution. You're just trying to debunk other people. Goodness forbid you debunk other people. Don't do that. Oh, yeah. It might, oh, man. What the? Sorry. Okay. This is what this made me think of. All right.
Directly to the forehead, head on. Apply directly to the forehead, head on. Available at Walgreens.
Okay, so for a long time, this thing was like, this ad would come on. And that's it. The whole ad just says, that's it. It just says,
the forehead, head on. Apply directly to the forehead, head on.
Apply directly to the forehead. What is it for? I don't know. What do you do with it? Apply directly to your forehead. Why? What does it do? I don't know, but that's it. That's your advertisement. Now, silly old pesky skeptics were like, what is this product about? What is it? You know, it's available, but what does it do? And notice they never say what it does in the ad. So, what is it supposed to do? It's supposed to make your headaches go away. But they don't say that in the commercial. Why? Because it doesn't make your headache go away. You know what it has in it? Not a damn thing that actually is any medication at all. And so what happened? It went bye-bye because the FDA is like, no. And it was people pointing out that this thing doesn't really do anything that made it go away. People were wasting money on this product that did nothing. A product that lied about what it did. Well, to be, it was deceptive. They tried to say Nothing about it. Just apply it directly to your head. What's it do? It's medicine. It helps you feel better. Is it medicine? Does it really help you feel better? No, it's a placebo. And it was based on some junk pseudoscience. And the FDA said, no, no more of that. You're gone. You're out of here. Good, because it doesn't do anything. And so when we point out that something is not true, we are getting rid of bad ideas. We're getting rid of things that people might waste their time or money on, like head on, apply directly to the forehead. Why? It doesn't do anything. Why not just take an aspirin for your headache? That actually works. Aspirin, swallow it. Aspirin, you swallow it. And then your headache eventually goes away. This thing is a stick that has no active ingredients in it that could ever actually do anything to a headache. Putting something on your skin doesn't do that. It cannot work. Does not function. So we say, hey, look, this is a lie. It is not true. We debunk it because it's a waste of time and energy and money. And there are channels out there who will point out the scammers that are out there and how their scams work. They'll call you up. They'll pretend to be this, or this. And they'll say, this is what's going on, and they'll tell you a story and they'll try to get you to, get them money, give them money in some way, shape, or form because they want your money. And people are point out that and say, here's how this works, here's what it's about. But you're like, oh, don't do that. Goodness forbid. Those scammers are really happy getting all that money. We shouldn't make them unhappy by saying that what they're doing is false and untrue. We shouldn't debunk things that are fake. What kind of incoherent worldview is that? Really, seriously. What madness is it where nobody can point out what's not true anymore? But wait a minute, you're saying that what he's doing isn't true. So now you are a hypocrite because on one hand, you're saying, don't you dare point out when someone's wrong. You're wrong for doing that. But you can't do that because you can't point out that he's wrong since doing that is apparently wrong. Goodness gracious.
That's what evil would do. That's what Shaitan would do. That's what, if your job...
Shaitan? I like that. Shaitan. Dun, 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 pow, pow, pow. My name is Shaitan, master of the universe. Dun, dun, Shaitan. I have the power. Shaitan. Shaitan. That's much better than Satan. Shaitan. Shaitan, Shaitan, Shaitan. Damn it, didn't show up. All hail Shaitan. All hail Shaitan. Shaitan is so cool. Shaitan is awesome and neat. Shaitan will make you throw up on the street. That's not good. That's not wise. Oh, well, Shaitan surprise. Shaitan lives inside you now. 'Cause I sang this song and I touched a cow. Shaitan is in you now. That's why you shouldn't listen to me, 'cause I'm evil, don't you see? Shaitan is the one for me. La 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 dee dee. Stop singing. What? Stop singing. Why? Nobody likes it. How do you know? Maybe somebody likes it. You don't know that. Also, this doesn't make any sense. Get back to the video. Oh, look, I want to sing about Shaitan. Let me sing about Shaitan. It makes me happy. Anyways, what was I doing? All right, this video.
Job is to take away hope from people so they...
take away hope. Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, you're taking away my hope! My hope. Why are you taking away my hope? Oh, damn it! I should have had my camera on. You missed all my amazing acting. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can put my camera in without turning this thing off. Okay, put in your bets. We'll try to make my camera go on, turn off my stream, and have me to restart the stream. I'm taking all bets. I bet it will. I'm going to do it anyways because I want to act. I want to be a ham. And this is important somehow. Oh, I got to do the settings. Where is it? Hey, look, it didn't restart the stream. Yay! Okay, now where was I? Right. Oh, my. Oh. Not my hope. Oh, my hope. Oh, my hope. My hope. Lobster, why did they take away my hope? It's okay. It's okay. Oh, I'm here for it. Thank you. Oh. If you want to see more of me and Lobster, I now have an OnlyFans. I don't really, but I'll make an OnlyFans, and I will do whatever you want with the Lobster if you pay me. Don't think I won't do it either. Anyways, yeah, my hope is in logic. So I don't know. Whatever. What was I doing? Oh right, I went on camera just to do that whole crying bit, and then I made out with the lobster, and then I had the lobster pretend to suck my. Anyways, back to this video.
You can act terrible to one another because literally, whether you believe in God or not, the whole notion, if this person that you're looking at right now wants to act in a way on this planet because he believes that if he doesn't act good, he will go to somewhere bad after, that can only be good. But you're in your mind, because you think you're being good, trying to get them to believe in the way of life that you believe in, which is that this is a purposeless existence. Think about what that.
Do you know for a fact that they believe that it's a purposeless existence, or are you just assuming that? Also, doing good because you fear that not doing good will result in punishment does not make you a good person. I think that doing good, regardless of whether it will or will not get you anything, makes you a good person. Nobody is around to see me return the shopping cart to the place that it's supposed to go. Doing it is a very small convenience for the people that have to collect the carts. But it's a good. Saying to somebody, nice shirt, or I like your hair, or beautiful smile, or have a, you really did wonderful customer service. Thank you. Or, something kind. That's just good. And I do it for no hope of reward, no fear of punishment if I don't do it. Doesn't that make me a better person? I do good because I want to and for no other reason. Not because I fear that there will be a punishment or that I hope that there will be a reward. In fact, I don't think that there will be anything. The only thing is that I have the personal satisfaction of doing good. That's it. And sometimes I don't have that. Sometimes doing good is hard. Sometimes it's very hard to do good. But I do it or try to do it anyways because it's good to do good. And as far as it being meaningless, I don't believe that. There is a meaning. The meaning is subjective, though. It is my personal desire and my friends' personal desires. Everybody has their own purpose and own meaning, and it's up to them to figure that out. I don't get to tell them what that is. They have to figure that out. I have to figure it out for myself, what it means to exist. In this limited time span of existence that I have, my hope is in logic and reason. As long as I exist, there is hope in this world. And my hope is in reason and logic to shine a light on illogic and bad ideas. That is my purpose. For now. Tomorrow, I might have a different purpose. But in this moment, my purpose is to use reason and logic to highlight your bad logic and your bad reason. Whether that takes away your belief in God, I don't think it could. I don't know why it should. And if it did, maybe you'll be better off for it. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it will make you miserable. Maybe it will make you very happy. I don't know. You're assuming a whole lot about this other person. And that's very unconvincing to me. Because you can't read minds. And you can't tell what somebody's feelings are. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. I don't think you've asked them or tried to understand them. You've already said that they are evil. You've made up your mind about them. And I guess you'll make up your mind about me. Probably because I sang a whole song to your devil. And that must make me evil. Because I don't believe in your version of God. Well, I don't believe in any version of any God. So I guess I'm really evil, but I still do good. But what purposes? Oh, it has to come from God. No, it doesn't. Why? Why? Because you said so? If there was a God and it was like, hey, deconverted man. Oh, hey, how's it going, God? Your purpose is fill in the blank. And I'd be like, that's cool. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, though. Thanks for letting me know. Or maybe it might be, hey, that's amazing. I wish you told me sooner. I'm going to do that. I don't know, because God hasn't told me anything yet. And I don't think that God's going to tell me anything anytime soon. And if God wrote it in some book, well, I don't know which book to look at. Because everybody has a different book that they say that God said stuff in. And I don't believe any of them. Why? Because none of them so far have given me a good reason to believe in them. Like you, sir. You made this video saying that you're going to disprove atheism. But you haven't done that. Not even a little. You have not proven God. All you have done is complain about this person who I don't know who you're talking about. And said a lot of really nasty things about them. A lot of judgmental things. Even though you said, I'm not going to judge them, you clearly have judged them. You said they're operating under an evil spirit or an evil thing, an evil force, an evilness. That's judgmental. And if you say the same about me, then yeah, that's judgmental. I'm not operating under an evil anything. That's your idea that you have. It's a way to protect you from being wrong. I don't have that though. I can be wrong. That's great. Cool. I learned something new. All you're doing is judging this other person as if that could disprove atheism. Not good enough. Talking about happiness and all this, who cares? Give me a valid and sound argument. Give me empirical evidence. Give me a repeatable test. You're not going to do that, though, are you?
That does. That makes people act for the now. And if people act for the now, they act selfish. They could kill someone because they think there's no problem on the hereafter. So that's what Shaitan would do. That's what Satan would do if you go by the biblical, you know? So if you look at it like that, you're trying to get people off of an existence where it's a reward system, where they work hard in this life to get better in the next, but you don't want them to view it that way. So if you're wondering, what do you believe in? Surely if evil can enact in you without you even knowing, in a way where you're trying to remove hope from people, because that's seriously like evil. And I'm not even saying that from I'm just mean like that is evil, right? If you're going to try and take hope from people under the guise of you thinking you're doing good, then surely that's Shaitan. Surely that's evil. And if that's evil and it could get into you without you even knowing, because you don't offer a hopeful solution, you just try to remove hope from people, then that proves the existence of God, because evil creeps in to you without having a clear-cut guideline of what you couldn't do. So we wouldn't be allowed to do that. That would be like, yeah. So there you go. It's kind of...
Oh, yeah? Well, look, I wasn't paying attention to whatever you were saying. I was busy trying to say that maybe I shouldn't flirt with pragmatic crystal. And if I shouldn't do, not that I have flirted, but I joke about, that I will do that. And, if that made them uncomfortable, let me know. And they're like, no, that's fine. But, I'm over worrying about that. Now I'm talking about the fact that I'm thinking about that. And then it's a thing when it's not a thing. Anyways. Sometimes I overthink things. What was I doing? What's going on? Where am I? Oh, okay, hold on, sorry. Peanut butter. Okay, so this is great value crunchy peanut butter. What's that got to do with anything? Anyways, back to the video. We'll just edit that out and pretend that none of this ever happened.
Mad. I think that even if you're an atheist, maybe you should look at yourself and say, am I doing good or am I doing bad here? Why am I taking time out to take away people's hope?
Okay. Am I doing good here or am I doing bad here? I don't have copyright music to play that's hopeful music or something, but let's pretend that I'm doing that. In the background, there's really peaceful piano music going on. Am I doing good or bad? Am I taking away people's hope and replacing it with nothing at all? Not logic, reason, or science, or anything at all. I'm not offering any solutions. No. I'm giving them nothing in return. Am I doing good or bad? Music in the background, comfortable in my own skin. Married for 26 years. That really hurt my brain. Wait, what? No, sorry. That's fine. It's fine, duh. It's fine, dude. It's fine, duh. It's fine, duh. It's fine, duh. Fine, duh? Who's duh? What's going on? Again, okay, my brain is overflowed. Okay, here's what's going on. Okay, I need to not like mix in my alternate reality chat with reality chat and also then blend that into the video that I'm trying to make about this video, because doing that just messes with my brain. I'm still going to do it, but I shouldn't do it. Anyways, I don't know. I blame Nerdy Wrote It, who's actually my true love. That's all I've been trying to say this whole time. Oh, Nerdy Wrote It. Anyways. All right. Oh, but I asked myself the question. Oh, I never came up with an answer. I don't know. Tell you the truth, I don't know if I'm doing good or bad. No idea. I hope I'm doing good. I assume that at some point I screw up and I'm not doing good, and I rely on people to let me know when I haven't screwed up. And I don't demonize them by saying that they're evil. Ooh. No, I listen to them and try to understand their position. I try to understand their reasoning or lack thereof. I try to get to what it is that they're saying. Why? Because I care about people, broadly speaking. Oh, there's some people I don't care about, don't get me wrong. And there's some people that I really don't like at all. Ex-mother-in-law, for example. Not that I have an ex-mother-in-law, but if I did, she would be the one teaching Satan how to do evil. Anyways, my point is, if I had a point, I don't know that I'm doing good or bad, but I hope that I'm doing good. And I'm trying to do good by putting out logic and reason into the world. Now, whether or not it affects anyone, I have absolutely no idea. Maybe it entertains people. Apparently it does. Sometimes, but not always. I hope that I make people think, but sometimes I won't. Sometimes maybe they'll just laugh at my antics and silliness. Other times, they might come away with something insightful, something they've never considered before. Maybe I'll walk away with something that I've learned from them. Maybe we can learn from each other. We all have unique personal experiences and lives that we've led, and those lives are interesting. We all have ideas that are worth expressing. There's room enough for every idea to be put out there. And then we examine each other's ideas. We scrutinize those ideas, and we find which ideas are true, which ideas are false, or in some cases, when we can't tell if they're true or false, we say, is the idea useful? And maybe it's useful, but we'll be very careful because we don't know if the idea is true. But we'll use it, maybe, because it's useful. And in that exchange, we will attempt to be civil with each other. We will attempt to use logic and reason. And sometimes we won't do that. And we'll just sit around joking with each other and shooting the shit, as it's called. Sometimes we'll just talk about movies or TV shows or our favorite foods or drinks or whatever, and that's fine too. Sometimes we'll debate, who you should vote for or whatever, And other times we'll talk about bananas and whether or not you should shove them in your ear. I don't know. Is any of that good or not? I suppose it depends. But here's what I think is bad. I think it's bad when you demonize people for not believing what you believe in. If you don't believe in, let's say, the law of identity, there's a good one. A equals A. That's the law of identity. You don't have to believe in it. And if you don't, okay. That's interesting. That's weird. It may cause problems for you. I don't know. But it doesn't bother me. But if you use that idea to then go and try to hurt somebody else, now I have a problem with you. I have a serious problem that I need to do something about. I need to stop you. Why? Because I don't want you to hurt other people. Doing so will only negate your freedom and also hurt that other person and people that love and care about that other person. And that's not a good thing. Maybe you think you have a really good reason to do that, but we have a system of order. It's not perfect. It's very bad, but you can sue people or call the police on them. Now, is that going to resolve the issue? Not always. Might it make it worse? It might. But we've got to try to do it the right way. And taking up our own pitchfork and going to the person and dragging them out of their house and hanging them on a tree, that doesn't work. Why? Because it's not justice. It's a mob mentality. It isn't a fair system. It isn't one where they can argue their case. It isn't one with a structure and a logical flow to it. Now, maybe we can improve those systems. Absolutely, we can. I think more testing needs to be done on our judicial system. We need to make experiments and see what better improvements we could make to the current judicial system. There was a documentary I heard about. I watched the end of it, just the end. But they had two juries on judging a case that had already been judged and to see if they came to the same outcome. They didn't. They came to different conclusions about that case. So that suggests that something isn't quite right with our current system. So we can fix that. And we need to set up experimental cases. We need to do more studying to find out how we can do better. So we can have a better system. And calling each other names or saying that you're evil or whatever isn't going to get us there. Using a religion to say, my God says you have to do it this way, isn't going to help us to cooperate with each other. Because the other dude has a different God that says, do it this way. And this is the problem with this. Your God says, kill everybody that wears hats on Sunday. My God says, always wear hats on Sunday. We're going to have a problem. Because you're going to try to kill us. And they're going to try to, retaliate. That's not good for anybody. It doesn't get you to the truth. What system can we use to get to the truth? I submit science is a pretty darn good system. You think it's subjective, but you're wrong about that. But I think it's a pretty decent system, given that, I have the internet and a webcam and a TV and a computer, clean water and a fan and light and headphones and a microphone. All these things are thanks to science, not religion. Has religion produced some nice things? Sometimes. Has it produced some nasty things? Oh, yeah. And maybe we could invent a really good religion. Maybe. But we'd have to let go of the idea that God can't be wrong. And maybe we don't want to let go of that idea. Okay, fine. Maybe you're wrong about God then. Maybe your book isn't describing God. Maybe your book isn't saying what God actually said. Maybe God hasn't said anything at all to us at all. Maybe God exists, but has yet to reveal itself to any of us, ever. Maybe God's waiting for us to grow up as a species or as individuals. Maybe God doesn't believe in us because we're not worthy of that yet. Maybe we have to earn God's affection and love. And in our attempt to do so, we will become worthy. And the only way to do that is to not place our own ideals in such a manner that we cannot question them. And that's what God does, sadly. God makes it so that you think you're right and it's unquestionable. How do I negotiate with you? Negotiate. Interesting term. Sit down at a table. I want $10 million. I don't want to give you $10 million. It's not worth $10 million. I want to buy that building, though. I'll give you $1 million. $1 million? Are you crazy? It's way worth more than $1 million. All right, 25 million. Oh, well, it's cut in half. Definitely it's not worth 50 million. Well, I was trying to get, the best amount for myself. Of course you were. And I'm trying to get the best amount for myself. Well, what's the highest you would go to? I don't know. 3 million. 3 million? Come on. You know it's worth more than that. Look, the market value is right here. It's worth. Okay, it's worth 4 million according to the market value. Plus, I have to add something as an incentive so that you make some profit. How about $4,500,000? $500? 5,000. 5,000? 10,000. All right, fine. Now, neither of us really got what we wanted from that negotiation. You didn't get the maximum amount that you really wanted, and I didn't get the minimum amount that I wanted. But we both got something, and we walked away from that, both not having exactly what we wanted, but having something. In the negotiation of morals, ethics, politics, etc., I have to be able to sit down with you, and you have to be able to sit down with me and say, okay, look, we need to divide this land up, let's just say. And I'm like, yeah, because there's different people that have different ideas, and these people want to, these people live here, these people live here, and we need to figure this out. Okay, great. Well, my people think that this part right here, that God gave us that. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. But these people also think that God gave them that same part. And then there's another group that also says a thing about that. Can we split that in 3? Can we split that up evenly between the 3 of you? No. God gave it all to us. And they all say this. How do I negotiate that? They're unwilling to compromise because they all think that God gave them that thing. What if God didn't give them anything? What if God didn't give any of them that spot? Well, now we can negotiate because it's just a spot. We can say, okay, yeah, let's share it. How about that for an idea? We'll split it in 3. We'll have it in a pie section. Like there will be a third of it for us, a third of it for you, a third of it for that. You'll have your entrance. We'll have our entrance. They'll have their entrance. They'll all be on the same ground floor, and we'll make it look really cool. You decorate yours how you want. We'll decorate ours how we want, and we'll have it. We'll all have that spot, and we'll share it. How about that? But we can't because you've decided that God told you that it was yours. So we can't negotiate. That just leads us to conflict. That's not good. A true, real God would not want us fighting over something so trivial as a piece of dirt, a location on the globe. Look at what God's made. The universe is there. What about the rest of the universe? Look at all that stuff that's out there. They would give you a tiny dot on a tiny planet that's yours and yours alone. How about sharing? Wouldn't it be the kindest thing ever? Maybe you want to hold on to that belief. Okay, God gave it to us, but we can share. Let's share this with everybody. We'll give you a slice and you a slice, and we'll have a slice. We'll all have equal slices. How about that? We'll do that. And the other people, maybe they'll say that too. And if not, it's just going to lead to problems, isn't it? I view that as a good thing, to try to find a way that we can negotiate difficult ideas in a way where we can all walk away with something. Maybe it's not all that we wanted or all that we think that God gave us, but maybe it's something we can all live with because it's reasonable instead of being unreasonable, unquestionable, unchallengeable. I'm right. The end. I can't talk to you. You've decided. You've made up your mind. Now what? I really want that land. Well, then there's only a couple options, isn't there? I have to remove you from that land by force, or, well, I end you by force. I don't like those options, but I really want that land, unless I can be talked out of wanting that land. So somebody has to be reasonable. If there's a God and it wants us to love each other, then why wouldn't it want us to be reasonable and try to cooperate with each other? So I'll tell you what, Muslim and Jews and Christians, the moment that you guys can split up the Holy Land amongst yourselves in equal ways so that nobody has all of it, but that everybody can share it equally, then I'll be a little bit closer to thinking that maybe God is real. Let's see if you guys can do that. Until then, because you've offered me no argument at all, and definitely not a good one, and you've offered me no empirical evidence to examine, no repeatable test to run, I must be skeptical of your conclusion, and in this case, actually, I think I have to toss your idea out the water. Out the water? I have to toss your idea into the water. I don't like your idea. Your idea is wrong. How about that? You haven't debunked atheism or anything in this video. What's that? There's more to his video? I don't care anymore. I'm done with him for now. Thanks for watching. Maybe he says something in the last few minutes that's brilliant. Let's fast forward through and find out.
Because it's not like there's an epidemic of people who are God-fearing acting bad. No, there's an epidemic of people who aren't God-fearing, not looking after one another. That's what's happening. Anyway.
There's an epidemic of people that aren't God-fearing, not looking out for each other. I don't know about that. When I needed help, atheists helped me more than Christians did. So I think that that's false.
Food for thought. Over and out.
Okay. Well, I hope that my video has been food for thought for you, Muslim. Over and out. And until next time, lobsters exist, and be skeptical of the conclusions if there's not a good argument. Hopefully my argument was good. If not, then